All right, I thought I'd give everybody a January update on the Brothers Triplet Greenhouse. So let's take a look about how things look in January. I made a few changes, and I'll show you in a second. But let me show you this giant Belgian has gotten to the point where if it was standing straight up, it would be over 9 feet tall. Still producing some nice-sized tomatoes. Not as big as the ones we had earlier, but they're still doing really good. Also doing really well is the Estivia tomatoes. These are really doing a great job, and they are producing. Still waiting on the Romas. Give you an idea right here, these Romas. Still waiting, but we'll get them. They should be, I think, ripe in about a week or two. So the okra's done very well. Now producing more okra, so we don't just have 1 or 2 at a time. So those are coming in pretty nice. And the problem is now they're getting so tall, I got to use this to pull them over as they grow. Some new changes. Well, for some reason I'm just not a fan. I had Brussels sprouts in here and a couple other things that I was just like, you know, I don't want to grow them. They're not fun to grow. So I replaced what was here with spinach, because I'm trying to think about what we eat the most of, and this is my spinach right here, doing mighty fine. And then we ate the romaine lettuce so fast that I realized I've got to learn how to do a seed schedule about when to plant. So this is my next batch of romaine, and I also went to Transplanted Garden and picked up some more lettuce. Thankfully they had some. So some, like these, I grew from seed. Then the other ones here, I picked up at Transplanted Garden, and then over at Carolina Farmin', they had the spinach, so I took advantage of that. Here's some other spinach that I got. And then over at one of my favorite places, Progressive Gardens, they had some wonderful burgundy bush beans, and they're going to be burgundy beans. That's going to be fantastic. Now these I'm having issues with. These are my green beans. And, I mean, we got dozens and dozens and dozens of these green beans, and they've done really well. But I've noticed that these leaves are starting to yellow, or especially around the edges, here and here. So, of course, I stopped by Progressive Gardens, and they are probably the most knowledgeable of anybody in this area about plants. And they hooked me up with some of this fertilizer. And I'm very excited about it because they know their stuff. And if they say that this is going to help my plants, and gosh darn it, I know it will. So I want to thank Progressive Gardens, Evan and Ryan over there, for hooking me up. And they also hooked me up with what they have over there. They have compost tea. And you can take this tea and you can do a couple things with it. You can just pour it right in. You can dilute it with water. Or what I'm starting to do is taking a little bit of that tea, and I got a sprayer up here, and I've started to spray the leaves. Since, you know, the plants eat with their leaves, not just through the roots too, I went ahead and purchased that. And so I put a cup or 2 of the compost tea with a mix of the rainwater, and I've been spraying the leaves. And I have to say, it's definitely made an improvement. I just started it, but we'll see what happens. So, also another burgundy bush bean right here. That's doing well. And finally, my brother wanted me to do something for him. He wanted to know how I use the hose with the rain barrels, because you can't just use a rain barrel by itself and expect to get good pressure. So what I've done, which is pretty simple, and I'm going to show you, is I'm using a 110-volt pony pump. And it's really simple. You just get a little connector there. And this pony pump has male connectors on it, and I take that, and this is already on right here. You just turn it on all the way, hook up your pony pump, and then hook the hose up there. And you just take the plug like this, and you plug it in. It's got to be really loud. And then from there, you get your pressure, which is wonderful. So that's how you use the pump, and then you get to use the hose with the rain barrels instead of just using buckets. Now, it's been a little chilly in the 20s. Hold on here. In the 20s, And everybody also wanted to know how I'm doing it, how I'm keeping everything warm. Well, right now, it's a warmer day, 67 degrees. However, this thing says it's 73. But it's 88 in the greenhouse, and I do have the exhaust running, and I have the window open. But I try to air everything out. I also use the fan, but when the sun goes down, it gets very chilly. So all I did was purchase this little oscillating fan here with a little ceramic technology. So I purchased this fan here, and that keeps it shoot out 82 degrees there. And when it gets really cold, I add the second heater right there, and it'll get 55 when it was 23 degrees outside. It was 55 in here, and it was just right. So there's my update. I'll let you know how the green beans do as they start deteriorating. We'll see if we can fix them, because these green beans are fantastic. And that is the greenhouse update here with Sheila Brothers. Wish me luck on my Romas. And, of course, more big old Belgian giants to come in the greenhouse.